Well, you blink and it's already week 3 of the Cape Cod Baseball League season. It's another Monday off day, which means it's time for episode 3 of the Monday Morning Manager Show right here with the Commodores and alongside Commodores field manager Jarrod Saltalamacchia. Coach, thanks so much for joining us today.
Appreciate you having me again.
Yeah, so first Sunday we're on the road. So we're recording this before the Commodores face off against the Chatham Anglers at Veterans Field. So for a recap of this game against the Anglers, let's send it over to Timmy Weiss real quick with his Sunday night recap. Timmy?
Thanks so much, Ryan. The Falmouth Commodores fall 11-8 to the Chatham Anglers here at Veterans Field, and this one did not come without its ups and downs. The Falmouth Commodores take the lead 7-4 after Mike Anu delivers his 7th home run of the season, 3 more than any other player in the Cape. But after that, Chatham really took things into their own hands. Ashton Larson delivers a grand slam to take a big lead, and the Anglers really never looked back after that. Falmouth goes to 9-9 on the season. Ryan, back to you.
Thanks so much, Timmy, who already knows the result of this game against the Anglers and the Commodores. But this was recorded pregame before Chatham, so we'll have a quick conversation without that game and factoring into anything. Again, Ryan Martin alongside Jarrod Saltalamacchia. Coach, before this Chatham game, team sitting 7-1-1 across the last 9 games. What's been working consistently for this team, especially at the dish?
I think just gelling. I think, we've kind of implemented a new approach plan where quality plate appearances are highly important. So, same thing with data with pitchers, strike percentage and all that stuff. I don't think a lot of people talk too much to hitters about the importance of a quality plate appearance. And, sometimes hitters can get a little selfish and try and do more for themselves than the team. And I think you're seeing right now what can be done with a team if you go out there and just put quality plate appearances together.
Quality plate appearances are really happening, and we're already entering that halfway mark of the season. Game 20 is just on the horizon coming this week. Is this team's mindset differently from opening day when we were right here at Veterans Field to now that you know what this team's like, or how has that kind of shifted as the season's gone on?
As a manager, it's fun to watch. You don't know exactly what's going to happen when you get these players in, and there's a lot of moving parts through the course of the season, and edging closer to the draft, you start to see some guys kind of fade off a little bit, but these guys haven't. These guys have focused on day by day. Our rule is always, hey, you got till midnight to whatever, good, bad, or indifferent. After that, we're worried about the next day. So they've been very good about turning the page, working on the next day, and really pulling for each other.
You mentioned bringing in some of those new guys, working in for the next day. A couple of new additions have really already made an impact. We saw some singles yesterday from Ashton Wilson, Ryan Zuckerman. Those are 2 of a couple new guys who came in for the Commodores. What needs are the newest additions with Falmouth filling right now to help this team stay on the roll?
Well, you don't know what to expect when new guys come in. Some guys come in, they feel a little anxiety, like they've got to prove themselves, especially when our lineup's been doing what they've been doing. So the focus for those guys is the quality plate appearances. If you focus on your job that at bat and that day, you're going to be fine. And Ashton was a great example of that. Zuck was a great example of that. They just went there and took their hits. And Ashton obviously was a guy that was supposed to be here early in the season. He had some injuries that he needed to deal with first. But he's fitting in just fine, so is Zuck.
You mentioned putting in those quality at-bats. One guy who's been really impressive with us in the booth, Carl Schmidt in that leadoff spot after batting at the bottom of the order. What has that adjustment been like to him at the top of the lineup? And he just keeps hitting.
He is the ultimate player. You put him in every position. I think he's played everywhere, second, third, right, left. He's just a gamer, and he doesn't take the game too seriously. He understands that this is supposed to be fun, and I think he's really loosened up the guys around him and made them better. And that's, as a manager, having a guy like that, he's a glue guy. I don't have to kind of stick my nose in anywhere. I allow him to take care of that, and he's been a phenomenal leader of this team.
Started the last 5 games, had a leadoff single in each of the last 5 games as well. That includes a July 4th win against Katuitt. Just being on the Cape and in the Cape Cod Baseball League, how exciting is it to be playing a game on the 4th of July as we hosted it at the Gov?
Oh, it's awesome. Being in the Cape in general is always a great experience. The weather's beautiful. The beach is right there. The fans have been incredible. These kids have an opportunity of a lifetime to come out here and, showcase themselves in front of scouts every day. But it's a little different for me. I'm usually at a big league ballpark somewhere watching it, or a minor league ballpark. So, it's a little bit different, but living in Falmouth, I was only about 300 steps away from watching fireworks, which is beautiful.
There you go, right there at the Heights. You mentioned your playing career. Did the 4th of July and playing on that holiday have any special significance during your career? It's America's birthday, in my opinion. So, it's always a great holiday to sit there and be close to family and friends. And, it's always a little special on that weekend. It's a little busier here than most places, but
I love it. It's just such a great opportunity to go out there and just let it hang loose, hit some firework bombs, and then watch fireworks afterward.
Yeah, great day at the Gov. It was a Commodores win there for Falmouth. It was one game, too, in which you mixed up the pitching rotation a little bit. We were just talking about how this team this year, you got guys who started as a starter, now a couple more appearances out of the bullpen, and vice versa. Just what's that process like with the pitcher specifically and working with Todd Carroll to understand what you have in that room?
Well, these guys come out here, most of them are starters out of high school. They get to college, they may not be a starter, so they don't get many innings, so they come out of the pen. Coaches send them to me, and they want them to get some starts, so they also want them out of the pen. So, really it's just the kids being open and being able to make that adjustment. And we're lucky here. These kids have all come in and said, hey, whatever you need me to do. Obviously I would love to start, but I'll come out of the pen, I'll do whatever you want me to do, which has made it really easy on us. TC's easy to work with. He's got a plan for each and every guy. He's got a good relationship with those guys to be able to make those adjustments on the fly. Like today, Porco was supposed to start. Right. Porco's one of those guys that literally has said, hey, whatever you want me to do. I'll close the game out if you want me to. I don't care. I just, put me in the game. So it's been great.
And cool to see it. And one of the adjustments you mentioned, working with TC for the pitching, but hitting and base running has been really interesting to see too. Commodores with the most stolen bases in the league right now, while being caught the fewest amount of times. Has aggressive base running really been an emphasis for this team recently?
Yeah, free 90s, quality plate appearances and free 90s is what helps win games. If our pitching does their job and gets our defense back in the dugout as quick as possible, time of possession is highly important. There may be some other incentives that between me and the players that helps them go out there and produce those quality plate appearances and, balls in the dirt, free 90, stuff like that. But, each and every player is dynamic. They want to win the ball game, so they're going out there on their own and doing what they got to do.
Whatever it takes to win the ball game, the Commodores have been doing that a lot recently, and we'll see if it continues. That's the third edition of the Monday Morning Manager Show, alongside Commodores manager Jarrod Saltalamacchia. With the Falmouth being off today, the Commodores will make that first trip to Harwich to take on the defending champion Mariners tomorrow at White House Field.